Welcome to Discover Fort Monroe. This week, we're not talking about Brown, the molasses thief. We'll come back for him, if we can catch him, that is. The urban legend. What I'm here is with Denise, our museum specialist, and Zach, our visitor engagement specialist. And we're going to talk about kind of what was going on here at Fort Monroe for the 4th of July, which is tricky since Fort Monroe didn't exist during 1776, and how this land and this area ties into the Revolutionary War and the significance it plays in the holiday for the 4th of July.
Well, there were people that were living here, of course, were living in Hampton, then was pretty much Elizabeth City County. And as Zach said, the ruins of Fort George were here. We do know that they always had a caretaker for the ruins of Fort George. And so we suspected that there was probably some sort of house or housing here for those people to live in. And we do know there was a man named John Dames that was a caretaker for the ruins by 1774, who started putting what they call a lighthouse on the point for ships that were passing. And so doing our research, we do know that a law was passed, or a decree was given, that in 1775 he was to be given 20 pounds a year for keeping that light for the passing ships. And of course that would turn into what we know is our lighthouse today. But again, different pieces of Point Comfort that we know today were privately owned over the years leading up until that.
At this point, during the period of the Revolutionary War, Hampton became a pretty big shipbuilding area. A lot of ships were being constructed closer to where Norfolk is now, and all along the James River. And Hampton is where during the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Hampton became the first battle that happened outside of New England in the Revolutionary War. So that started in about 1775, I believe, and that takes place here in Hampton and in this area of Point Comfort. The Battle of Hampton really began with tensions between Lord Dunmore, who was the captain of the British fleet, and the people of Hampton. Lord Dunmore was conducting raids up the James River and up the Hampton River, seizing different provisions, seizing enslaved individuals, and the people of Hampton obviously were very happy with that. What really kind of sparked the battle to occur is there was a time during those raids where a British ship ran aground. It got caught in a hurricane itself and ran aground near Hampton. The people of Hampton took that opportunity to seize everything on that ship, basically stripping it down to its spare parts, and then Lord Dunmore became very happy with that. Lord Dunmore told the people of Hampton that they needed to return everything they stole from the ship. The people of Hampton said they would do that if they returned all provisions and the enslaved people that the British took from the people of Hampton. Neither side was willing to give, and this is where the battle began. The site of Point Comfort and the waters around it have always been an important location throughout history. From the time of the Powhatan and the Kicquetan tribes that were here, through the arrival of the English, through the Battle of Hampton to today, it's always been an important military strategic location. And eventually what becomes the United States, they eventually realized how important controlling this land is, because by controlling the area of Point Comfort, you're controlling access to the James River, and you have a really good sight line onto the entrance of the Chesapeake Bay as well. So the United States, following the Revolutionary War, and then later the War of 1812, when the British come back trying to retake the United States decided that they needed to build a fort at location of Point Comfort and other places along the coast in order to defend the entryways to all the different rivers, to protect Richmond and other important areas along the eastern shore as well.
Well, the celebration of 4th of July goes back over 100 years, going back to even predating the 1840s, as far as I could tell. We have to do some more research as to how far back it actually goes. but people would come here, and the Hygeia Hotel was here by that time. People would come here to vacation. We were at what we call the beach or the shore. People would come for to convalesce if they were sick. Back then, it was, the salt air was good for you. It was good for your lungs, that kind of thing. And so this was a popular resort spot, and that was sort of a bonus, would be to come here in the summertime and then enjoy the 4th of July. But definitely the 4th of July, they would have fireworks even back then, and people would come from the following areas. They would have like over 1,000 people come just for 4th of July and to see the fireworks. I've done some research, and again, like I said, I've seen where so many people would come and they could not even get a room. There was that many people that were desiring to come here for that very reason. And of course, it was tradition. I guess it was just tradition in the army or in the military, as long as this was a military post.
Thank you for joining this slightly more weird, more table discussion episode of Discover Fort Monroe. We hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. And make sure to follow our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can join me in the next one.